3 things about America's first English settlement that remain catastrophically unknown. The year is 1587. 117 men, women, and children land on a remote island off the coast of what is now North Carolina. They were the brave, the hopeful, tasked with planting England's flag in the New World. They built homes, tilled soil, and faced a wilderness both beautiful and brutal. Then they simply vanished. Not a trace, not a struggle, just an enduring, chilling silence. Everyone thinks the story of Roanoke is a simple tale of colonial failure. They are wrong. It's a profound, unsettling puzzle, riddled with cryptic clues and unanswered questions that have echoed for centuries. What truly became of those pioneering souls, and why did they leave behind only a single, enigmatic word carved into a tree? Sir Walter Raleigh, a man of immense ambition, sponsored 3 voyages to the area. The first, in 1584, was a reconnaissance mission. They returned with glowing reports of a fertile land and friendly natives, prompting Raleigh to name the territory Virginia in honor of Queen Elizabeth I, the Virgin Queen. A second expedition, a military colony of 107 men, arrived in 1585, led by Sir Richard Grenville and later by Ralph Lane. Their stay was fraught with tension. A silver cup stolen by a local tribe, the Secotan, led to a retaliatory attack, destroying their village and crops. This act of aggression poisoned relations, a fatal misstep in hindsight. Lane's colony, facing starvation and hostile natives, was eventually rescued by Sir Francis Drake in 1586. They abandoned the settlement, taking with them crucial knowledge of local hostility. But the dream of an English foothold persisted, leading to the third, fateful voyage. John White, an artist who had accompanied the 1585 expedition, was appointed governor of the new city of Raleigh in 1587. This was to be a permanent agricultural settlement, not a military outpost. White brought his pregnant daughter, Eleanor Dare, and her husband Ananias. His granddaughter, Virginia Dare, would be the first English child born in the Americas. The colonists landed on Roanoke Island on July 22, 1587, intending to settle further north in Chesapeake Bay. However, their pilot, Simon Fernandez, a man of questionable loyalty, refused to take them further, stranding them on Roanoke, the site of previous conflict and animosity. 3 months later, with supplies dwindling and relations with local tribes deteriorating rapidly, the colonists urged Governor White to return to England for aid. He reluctantly agreed, leaving his daughter and newborn granddaughter behind. It was meant to be a swift journey, a matter of months. However, the Anglo-Spanish War erupted, and all available ships were pressed into service against the Spanish Armada. White's return was delayed, not for months, but for 3 agonizing years. Every day, the fate of his family and the colony hung in the balance, a desperate hope against a growing dread. When White finally returned on August 18, 1590, on what would have been Virginia Dare's 3rd birthday, he found the settlement eerily silent. The palisade was intact, but there were no signs of life, no smoke, no human footsteps. He found the houses dismantled, but not destroyed, as if taken down deliberately. His search yielded 2 chilling clues. Carved into a gatepost, he found the word Croatoan. On a nearby tree, the letters CRO were etched. He had instructed the colonists that if they moved, they should carve the name of their new destination. If they were in distress, they were to add a Maltese cross. There was no cross. This suggested to White that the settlers had moved willingly, or at least without immediate duress, to Croatoan Island, now known as Hatteras Island, home to a friendly tribe of Native Americans. But a fierce storm prevented any further investigation, forcing White's ship to return to England. So what are the leading theories? The most widely accepted posits assimilation. The colonists, facing starvation and danger, integrated into local Native American tribes, likely the Croatoan or perhaps the Lumbee. Over time, their English identity faded, absorbed into a new culture. Indeed, later accounts from other explorers mention light-skinned, gray-eyed natives in the region speaking broken English. The Lumbee tribe of North Carolina, to this day, claim descent from the lost colony, a compelling and often overlooked piece of the puzzle. Another theory suggests violence. Hostile tribes, perhaps the Powhatan, rivals of the Croatoan, could have massacred the settlers. Chief Powhatan himself reportedly confessed to killing the Roanoke colonists to Captain John Smith years later, though his motives for this claim are debated. A less likely, yet enduring, theory is a natural disaster. A hurricane, tsunami, or prolonged drought could have devastated the colony. However, the lack of human remains or evidence of a sudden cataclysm makes this scenario less plausible than the others. The dismantling of the homes implies a more organized departure. The Dare stones, a series of carved stones purportedly found in the 1930s detailing Eleanor Dare's fate, were almost certainly hoaxes. Yet, they highlight the enduring human desire for closure, for a definitive answer to this persistent historical silence. We yearn for the truth, even if it's whispered from a fabricated past. Modern archaeology, with ground-penetrating radar and detailed excavation, continues to search for definitive proof. The Croatoan Project has uncovered European artifacts on Hatteras Island, supporting the assimilation theory. Ceramic sherds, copper rings, and even 16th-century gun parts suggest a merging of cultures. The Roanoke colony remains one of America's most captivating historical riddles, a poignant reminder of the fragility of early colonial endeavors and the profound, often brutal, encounter between two vastly different worlds. Their disappearance leaves us with questions not only about their fate, but about the very nature of history itself. Subscribe for more